Monday Sports Reports. Brought to you by Tough Man Refresh.
Tough Man Refresh.
Okay. What do you got, Nick? What do you got?
I was going to say 9:23. Let's just quick update on the golf. You guys have been following it all morning.
Well, yeah, it'll be a bit redundant by the time that the potty actually comes out. But at the moment, Adam Scott, did he end up dropping a shot there? They've taken the leaderboard.
No, I think he was still at +1.
Away from me. What happened in the Formula One? Where did Piastri finish up in the Formula One, Mitchell? I know he got fourth, but on the overall drivers' standings.
No, he picks up another 12 points or something like that. So and Lando Norris didn't finish, and Lando was behind him. So it's actually extended his lead a little bit.
Right.
Just pull up in front of me. He's on 198. Lando Norris 176 points. Then it drops down to 155 for Verstappen, who finished in second. So
Jeez, that's an arm's length, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's starting to be. So, yeah, Norris is, he was the one coming up behind Piastri, sort of clipped him a little bit. It sent Norris into the wall, and his race was done. He came out and said, it's my fault that, potentially cost Piastri any extra positions. But, fourth spot, it's extended his space, so.
God, it confuses me, that whole team mentality.
Yeah.
Norris, it just seems just as an outsider, just become Piastri's bitch.
Yeah, there's no context. You had your chance, and it's done.
He interviews him after the race. He walk along and he gets interviewed by the other guy,
Strange.
Norris.
Yeah.
I don't understand, but he's second. Is he second in the World Championship?
Yes, he is, yeah.
Very strange, isn't it?
The amount of ego and what they'd have to deal with is... you understand now, in retrospect, how it became this incredible drama series that people are so invested in, because...
I'm telling you where another drama series would be unbelievable is chess.
Oh...
the chess is waiting to break out. There are so many characters in chess. What's his name? Is it Magnus
Carlsen?
Magnus
Norwegian,
Carlsen.
Yeah. We saw his blow up the other day.
Lunatic.
Yeah. But that's not the first time he's done that, Nick. He's known for doing that. And you want to talk about ego? These chess players, mostly they've waltzed through their life walking into any room and being able to say to themselves, "I'm quite clearly the smartest person in this room." And then all of a sudden they get challenged. And sometimes it's from an 11-year-old who's wandered in from Nepal. And
just
this 11-year-old Nepalese kid will go, "No, I don't care who you are. I'm actually smarter than you." But then the progression of it will be that 11-year-old, when he's 28, will be a dickhead.
It fractures their entire worldview. You're right. Because I think, the secret to all of these has been it's individual athletes versus team athletes. Now, I think most people are you're born into one camp. You grow up like your tennis players or your Formula One drivers. And when they are forced to operate in a team environment, it's where we get characters from, but when they're allowed to just operate in their own world, and good call on chess, because they go, I'm incredibly good at what I do, but I'm also wildly intelligent.
Yeah.
And that just makes for the worst kind of person, but the best person to follow with a camera.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They're genuine characters, these guys.
You're right. Chess is chess. I haven't got one brass razoo of interest in it, but if they put a doco up on that Magnus guy, I would watch that today.
But Luttsy, not just the Magnus guy, because they're all like that. The elite of chess, they are wildly intelligent.
Yeah, right.
They're great chess players because they are wildly intelligent. But then there's people that sit on the streets of New York and sit there and play chess with anyone.
At Union
who walks
Square,
past
I've seen it. It's incredible.
And those guys are unbelievably intelligent as well. The way that they can, they've beaten some of these people.
I've heard stories where they've.
Do you guys know how to play?
No.
Yeah, I know how to play, but
I've never.
I used to, but no. My brother's exceptionally good at it, but it's just one of the things you have to have the mind for it. You have to be able to just see patterns emerging ahead of time
to be good at it.
Yeah.
I went through a period. I'd go over to my mate Murray's house every Wednesday.
Just smoke weed and play chess.
That's exactly.
We came up with some incredible moves.
We'd smoke weed, we'd play chess, and Murray would have a theme. He's right into music, and he'd take control of the music every night.
Like something wacky, like sort of, those...
Rolls in like Jerome Luai.
LA Hills, 1970s kind of vibe, Mamas and the Puppers.
Yes.
Mamas in the pub.
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
That's something the Muzz could do. Then you go, okay.
Peter, Paul and Mary.
And I swear, we would sit there for hours and we wouldn't even talk. Like, I would be so stoned and focused on the game that I'm like just in a complete zone. And then every now and then you'd stand there and there'd be no one talking, and you'd go, whose turn is it?
It's been half an hour. Murray left an hour ago.
But it's a good game. It is a good game.
That sounds amazing. So yeah, I'll tell you what. Let's just start our own mini docu-series here and see if it takes off.
Yeah. Well, now you can play online too.
It's
Like
dangerous.
we could actually be sitting there playing each other like with chess. But anyway, let's talk about some proper.
We'll talk
sport.
about some proper sport. Well, it's Origin week. Hey, how you feeling, guys? How you feeling? I'll admit, I'm smug. I'm a little smug, probably too smug, if anything.
Well, I mean, I think just, again, I don't know. I never bloody know. But I don't think anyone knows. But I can see how New South Wales could be smug right now.
You guys have never won in Perth, have you?
No.
But
Two
it's-
games
It's
and
2 games. It's
blown
only
out
2
most times,
games.
yeah. So, okay, how
You just
how do you win
don't
this?
know. The changes that we've made will either do absolutely nothing, or maybe it'll be some spark, or catalyst for massive change in our energy and our everything. But I don't know.
Like, I want it, because this week's feeling flat. This week's
It's been
feeling
almost no news about it.
non-existent.
Other than a couple of personnel changes late last week, but there's been nothing. Nothing.
It's like they're so worried about offending everyone now, or being a source of motivation for the other team by coming out and criticising them that they're not, and as a result, the build-up just does seem a little flat. Just from a purely rugby league perspective, what worries me about losing DCE is I don't see who's got our long kicks. I reckon it's a big advantage for us that Moses is out for New South Wales and they've brought in Luai, because Luai doesn't have the long kicking game, but Cleary and
corners.
Cleary and Moses are both huge long kickers, and they can just pump it down the field, even if they've had a bad set, which they weren't having bad sets in Brisbane. But even if you can repel them defensively and hold them in their own sort of 30, Cleary or Moses has got the ability to kick it from the 30 all the way down to our try line, or thereabouts, the 10-metre line, and start the set with us coming off the back foot.
Yeah.
We haven't got that, because DCE's got a long kicking game. We've now got Munster and Dearden and Harry Grant, and they can all kick, but they're not long kickers. And I just worry about what happens when we're on the back foot coming out of our own end, about how we finish our set, so that we don't find ourselves in a position that you get babyface Dylan Edwards and To'o and Lomax just catching the ball like on their 30 and starting the sets close to the 40, if not the halfway.
Yeah.
Because then we're in trouble.
Well, do you have to just completely flip it and go borderline, rule that out and go this chaos short kicking game? Just always keep them on their toes, because unless I'd say Dearden for the cleanest kick there. But yeah, you're right. You're in a bit of trouble there. So, I mean, you can't. I think
do
you have
that
very
ad
cautious
hoc
wins.
stuff, but you still have to. You've got to. You need field position and you need ball possession, and you've got to be able to control that at some point. And if you play the game in your own end and try and fancy trick shots and all the rest of it, New South Wales will. They got too much. They got too much firepower that they'll be able to. We won't be able to hold them out all night. They've got so many points in them. So that worries me. But then I just think, well, they know what they're doing. Like Billy and, Lockie and all that, they know more about rugby league than anybody.
Yeah.
So that they've got a plan. They would have countered it. I give, 10 minutes thought as I'm driving along. But these guys are like living and breathing it.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that they've got it figured out what their plan of attack is.
Well, even just the change in personnel. Like, what did Paddy? Was he front rower in the first game? Because where did Ruben play? Anyway, the thought that Paddy's going to be coming off the bench as well as Jeremiah Nanai, two what otherwise would have been starters for the last little while, to have some more impact off the bench when we just didn't have any go forward from the get-go in game one.
Well, it sounds like the plan is now to keep Paddy on the bench and use your first group of forwards for that 20 minutes just to ride the storm. And almost go like a Springbok style, bring in this explosive but also long minutes forward pack off the bench to throw them up as cannon fodder to start with, and then bring that experience in later, because forwards is where you got smashed last time.
Yeah.
And
it was.
True. There's a way to you're going to have to strategize it, because then it becomes 3 losses in a row for you. you got a 2-0, 3. I mean, going into
No,
avoid
won't it be 4 losses in a row for us?
I will be. Sorry, it will be 4.
Yeah, we've already lost 3 in a row now. Yeah.
And then you go into a possible whitewash game down at Stadium Australia. You got to try. Like it's all or nothing now.
Oh yeah, no, it's.
But if
it's
not,
all or
set
nothing.
yourself up for the future in game 2.
The other thing that pisses me off too with the media is it's so predictable too. Like that they're saying like if we lose, they'll be calling for Billy's head.
Yeah.
Like
It's not Billy. It's not Billy. It's
like
That'd be
like
crazy.
You know what I mean? Like and then who do we bring in?
exactly.
Because they sacked Kevy Walters evidently after Kevy had lost 2 series. But just the way that it's worked out is that if they sack Billy and we lose 2 series, they could give it back to Kevy.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have a job now.
It's just a merry-go-round.
Yeah. I'd like to see the
Surely
pick
not.
and stick stay with the coaches.
Stay with, like longer term contracts. Because then you can build
unless
something.
they royally fuck it up. But I mean, with the exception of the DCE thing, which is very controversial to sack your captain, I don't think it's ever been done.
For me, it's
before.
losing experience.
But other than that, who else have they picked, or what else have they done that you don't agree with? I mean,
Yeah, well, exactly. What do you want him to do? Yeah.
You've picked from everyone available. Sometimes it comes in cycles. You can have this golden generation that you had last decade and a bit, but it's got to balance out at some time. I think you guys are just recently too so used to winning that this. I mean, I'm pretty used to New South Wales getting absolutely thrashed. So I think it's just come around for this period of time. And what you do is you rebuild at the bottom of this cycle.
Yes. And try and stem the blood flow.
Yeah, but you need. but this is where you need to lean into the sort of the Queensland dogma, the bravado. This is where you actually can play the underdog card. And I haven't heard this from you guys at all.
No, I haven't
It's
really
been
talking about
such
it.
a quiet period of time.
We're genuine underdogs, and no one's really talking about it.
But that's where you've for generations been so good.
Yeah.
But it's just quiet now. All right. Well, I'm interested to see what happens. Lions, another loss on the weekend.
what happened then?
Jack Payne unfortunately
Jack
ruptured
Payne.
patella.
That's not good.
That sucks. So he's done. He's done for the season
Oh,
now.
is he done?
And he's been
Top of his game.
He's been our number 2 defender behind Harris Andrews for a while. Like you can see how hard Chris Fagan pushed to keep him even half fit in the side last year in the final series to get him through. They have the numbers to cover it, but look, that's 2 weeks in a row now that inaccurate kicking has really cost them. Those sort of yips in front of goal that happened around last year.
That is not good.
They seem to be back. GWS, they'll get themselves right by finals. They're not a bad team, and they turn it on.
I saw Lockie Neal kick an unbelievable goal.
He's just different.
Yeah.
He's just it. We talk about being clean with your hands, and you hear about his 1,000 touches, like he does a training session a game. He's truly incredible. Like, I'm really glad that he's close to this show because we'll have the ability in 10 years' time to look back on his career and go, holy shit, he was special. I still remember we turned up to Brit Nine in 2019, and it was when they were announcing him, and when I was working at Triple M, I had to tell the host, I'm like, no, get behind this guy. He's over from WA. You don't know how good he is, but no, he'll be a generational player that we'll remember for a long time. So, look, he will help get us across the line. It's not curtains. It's not bad. Lions will get themselves right by finals. But one of my early predictions, and you can Ash take this to the bank. I don't know if there's any betting market for this, but a trend that's happened for the last 3 years is coming true again. So for the last 3 years, from last year's ladder to this year's, I can tell you that there has been a team who has missed finals the year before, and that will make the top 4. And this year, I can tell you that will be Collingwood. There's one team who has made the top. They're
on top of the table. At the moment,
they are on top.
Did they miss the finals?
Yeah, they were
completely
just
last
half a percentage out last year. They had a down year after winning the flag. They've bounced back. One team who made the top 4 last year will miss finals altogether. That's going to be Sydney. So that's happened again for the last 3 years. And one team who finished bottom 4 last year will play finals, and that will be Adelaide. So there are some trends that have stuck very true in the AFL.
Yeah, okay. By the way, the Brumbies were playing in the Super. What about the cricket?
I was going to say, yeah.
Cricket was shit.
Yeah, I mean, one trend that was bucked was South Africa actually winning something in a cricket final. That pitch just decided to come good, didn't it?
Yeah.
And the Brumbies lost in their semi-final against the Chiefs, so they're fuckoon too.
Yeah, Australian rugby is exactly that. Again, another Super Rugby final where no Australian team will feature, and yeah, we are still a long way off the pace.
Do you reckon that they'll make changes in the Australian Test team now? I mean, that outside looking in, wouldn't have a clue, but Marnus and Uzi. I mean, it seems like yesterday's news. Hello.
Osman is, we love
Osman's older than me.
We love our Queensland, we love our Queensland boys, but Osman hasn't been able to hold it up there. Marnus isn't an opener. Cam Green isn't a number 3. So yeah, it's a bit of a mess.
What the bloody hell are they doing?
I want Sam Constance, and I know he's a New South Welshman, but I don't care. That was the most when he played in that Test match last year. That opening, that's the most exciting that I've been in Test cricket since David Warner burst onto the scene.
Oh.
I love it.
Yeah.
Just come out and go, fuck it. I'm going the slog
Against Virat Kohli.
against
Screw him.
Virat Kohli.
So with a
Bumrah.
with a packed Ashes summer this year, you need him.
By the way, have we got India and England this summer?
We've got what?
Like we've got.
Well, the Windies is 10 days away?
Yeah.
Yeah, so but that's on the road, isn't it? So apparently they've got like a huge 9 months coming up. But who is it this summer in Australia? It's the Ashes.
Yeah, we've got the Ashes at home.
Yeah, so that's 5 tests, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Did
fine.
someone say that India's coming back? I was like,
We're obviously due to play.
Well,
We've been playing due to them next, so they surely can't.
what
be
is
this
the
year.
summer of cricket?
Ashes, blah, 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 blah. Where is it here?
26, 27, we'll be playing them over there. So on the other side of this Ashes series, it'll be like either a March or an October series over there. But
so we're
5 tests.
We're going to
4.
the West Indies. We're playing the West Indies. Then we're going to India to play India.
No, next year.
Oh, next year.
Next year. So we won't play them this year. We'll play them next year.
Right. Okay.
But that now India series are now fully out to 5 tests, which is exactly what we've always wanted.
And the Gabba sees what?
The Gabba.
Anything?
Well, I mean, the good thing is we're still going to host this. We'll host his first Ashes test this year.
We will, okay.
But
right.
then,
26, 27.
That's kind of. I think that's the last hurrah after that.
Got you.
Because the English, they did a number on our ticketing throughout the Ashes series tickets.
They do this over and over.
Yeah. Somehow all the English fans and the Australian fans got in the same queue. So, and the sheer weight of numbers, like they were like, for like the MCG test, there's 400,000 people in line, and they travel because fair enough.
300,000 of them are Poms.
Yeah, absolutely. So, look, it's an exciting time, but yeah, look, I never really thought the World Test Championship matters per se. I like that there's some way to decide who's the number 1 nation in the world, but
yeah, they haven't quite got it right.
It just doesn't feel like cool, you're world champion, whatever.
Technically, that was like a grand final.
Yeah,
and no one really cared.
On a neutral venue, this.
Yeah, they haven't quite got that right.
No.
I think Adam Scott's gone, so we'll be over by the time you hear this, but he just dropped one. He's nodding his head and cursing himself on the 15th tee, 16th tee, actually.
And that's the par 3, and he's gone into the shit again. And he's back down. He's 3 over now with 3 to play.
Deary me.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It is what it is.
Anything else? That'll do.